Hi, I'm Senator Cory Booker. Thank you for inviting me to say a few words. I want you all to know I am in love, very sincerely, with the New Jersey ag community. And it's what I've learned from you and others that is the reason why I joined the Senate Agricultural Committee, where now I have the opportunity to fight for the policies that really are going to help level the playing field for New Jersey family farmers, bring resources back to New Jersey, and work towards feeding American families with healthy, nutritious food. So I'm grateful to you all. I've learned so much in a short period of time as a United States Senator about what you all, the hard work that you all do every single day. And I want to thank the New Jersey Department of Agriculture and their Secretary Fisher, for the partnership and the incredible work that you do on behalf of New Jersey farmers, and for one of New Jersey's most critical industries when you look at how much it contributes to our state, which is agriculture. So many of you know, last year I was honored to be appointed to that Senate Ag Committee. While many people were asking, why is a senator who lives in Newark, New Jersey, what's he doing on this historic Senate committee? Well, I see it as an opportunity, exciting opportunity to work on the issues that I'm really passionate about empowering independent family farmers who are still the backbone, the bedrock, the heart of our nation. It's about improving our food systems. It's about making sure that no American goes hungry and that we deal with this explosion of diet-related diseases we have in this nation. I joined the Senate Agricultural Committee because I believe that a consciousness is growing, a movement is growing in our country to bring about constructive change to our food and farm systems, to create more justice in the system that reins in these massive corporate consolidated power and creates a food system that aligns with our national values, with our family values. I want to help to do my part to make that happen, and I want to partner with you to do that work. The way we grow our food touches everyone's lives, from families in the Central Ward of Newark, New Jersey, to the middle of the Corn Belt. I am so grateful to have all of you beside me in this work to level the playing field for family farmers, to bring resources back to our state that grows what they call specialty crops. But those are the crops that nutritionists in our government and in our universities tell us we should be eating the most of. I want to work with you to make sure that the health of our nation is not declining, that the life expectancy of our nation is not declining, but instead our well-being, our health, our vitality, the futures of our children are getting better and better and better. Over the past year, I have relied on New Jersey stakeholders like you to inform my efforts. I have introduced bipartisan bills, because this is not a partisan issue, that would convene a second national White House conference on food, nutrition, hunger, and health. The first and only White House conference focused on hunger and nutrition, the year I was born, way back in 1969, led to landmark legislation and nearly a decade of really good progress in the fight to end hunger. Now, half a century later, we are still grappling with food insecurity and also now facing a growing crisis that's a nutrition crisis. It's time for a new conference to hear from stakeholders like you to ensure that all our communities have access to the food they need, not just to live, but to thrive. New Jersey is home to, I believe, one of our nation's premier agricultural research institutions, the Scarlet Knights, Rutgers University. And as the Senate prepares to adopt the next Farm Bill, resources for critical agricultural research will be another one of my big priorities. I've also worked on legislation that aims to provide more equity and fairness to our farmers. I think this has been one of the great disrespected groups in America, and many farmers around our country are suffering as a result. We've seen policies that have worked against them and for these massive multinational corporations. Well, I want to put farmers back at the center. I want to make sure farmers are getting their just share of the consumer dollar. And I want to make sure that we're providing the resources to our farmers to really help them engage in the practices that they know are good, not just for the harvest, but also for our climate. I've met New Jersey farmers, and I know the vast majority of our farmers, the overwhelming majority, want to be good stewards of the land. They know the land. It's been often in their family for generations in this country. The problem is that we now have a system, often aided and abetted by federal policy, that forces our farms to compete with unsustainable industrial operations in other parts of the country. The current system is polluting our air, it's polluting our water, it's contributing to climate change, and it's pushing too many of our farmers towards bankruptcy. If we can change federal policy and provide farmers with incentives to adopt those practices they know that work, like soil health conservation, practices like planting cover crops and using rotational grazing, not only can we lead the way on addressing climate change, but it'll also make our farms and our rural communities more resilient to extreme weather events. It will also help to reduce flooding, protect our drinking water, create habitat for wildlife, and improve the bottom line of farmers. Again, improve their bottom line and improve our environment at the same time. You know better than I do that farmers are really on the front line of the climate fight. And they are on the front line of preventing droughts and floods and other extreme weather events that are impacting our food system and the lives of so many Americans. Now, COVID-19 showed us how fragile our current food system is. So I've also introduced legislation to put an end to this corporate consolidation that is so hurting our nation's economy and our farmers. It's aiming to really rein in some of the nation's largest factory farming operations over time and to provide billions of dollars for voluntary payments to farmers who want to transition to more sustainable types of farming. It is in everyone's interest, and in all of our interests, frankly, to make sure the food system holds up and that we make these big investments and transition our food systems to more sustainable, regenerative models that put farmers first. I see this as an opportunity. I really see this as a win-win, frankly, for farmers, for families, for consumers, for the land, for our nature, for our future generations. I want to build upon programs like the Farmers to Families Food Box program, getting locally sourced healthy foods to the families that need it. I want to provide you and your colleagues with more USDA resources to protect your family's investments and to make your land more productive and more resilient. And I believe we can do this by working together, that we can actually help to educate consumers and others so that they know we have a mission. Farmers get up every day with a mission to feed families across America. You all are called, in fact, to do what we see from the Bible and our religious institutions that are some of the most noble things there to do. Is to help people who are struggling with food insecurity, help people who are struggling with health challenges. Farmers, more than doctors in some ways, if you look at what healthy food does for the people, you all can help us live up to the highest calling, I think, of humanity, which is to serve others, to empower others to have life and have it more abundantly. So I appreciate your ongoing support as we work together to incentivize our local food systems, protect our family farmers, and implement conservation practices to make our farms more resilient and in line with our values. I am so excited to be working with New Jersey farmers. I believe in you, and I have, in many ways, in my efforts on the Ag Committee, been raised up by your wisdom and the time many of you have spent with me. I know we have more work to do. I know I'm going to continue to get better and better as a new member of that Ag Committee. And as the next Farm Bill comes in the many months ahead, I'm looking forward to working with you so we can get more New Jersey wins. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless our state and our great nation.